Hey, what's up, everybody? My name is Chase, and this is Philosotalks. Today, I wanted to jump on and make a video about this image that I kind of put together. It's called the Star of Life. So I gained inspiration from the Tree of Life. Tree of Life, for those who are not familiar, is from ancient, tradition of the Kabbalah. And it's a Jewish tradition, and there's a lot of wisdom, encoded in the Tree of Life. And the more I look at it, the more I study it, the more I've learned. And so then I went on to make my own Tree of Life. And when I woke up one morning, I just jumped on the computer. I put together, what I thought were some of these main principles that fit nicely along the Tree of Life. And then the next morning I made new changes. The next day I made a few more changes. And then today and yesterday I made it into a star. So the Star of Life, I think, fits these 12 principles a little bit better than the tree, just because it's more symmetrical. And it's a 6-pointed star known as, the Star of David. But this is called the Star of Life because it's kind of a mixture of the Tree of Life and the Star of David. So 6 points on the star, 12 principles within the star. And the number 12 pops up all over the Bible. It pops up all over our life. There's 12 months in the year, 12 hours in the day, 12 hours at night. The clock is divided into 12 sections. There's 12 signs of the zodiac, 12 disciples of Jesus. There's also 12 gods in the Roman pantheon. And these symbols all correspond with the Roman gods. So you have Pluto, Mars, Mercury, Jupiter, the Sun, or Apollo, Luna, Vesta, Juno, Ceres, Venus, Terra, and Neptune. So these 12 Roman gods all correspond to these 12 principles on the Star of Life. At the bottom, you have a place of innocence, and it corresponds with Pluto, who was the ruler of the underworld. And Pluto is kind of seen as kind of a bad guy. In the Greek tradition, he's known as Hades. And we know Hades from the Hercules movie. He was kind of like a devilish figure. But Pluto was not seen as much of a devilish figure in the Roman religion. He was the ruler of the underworld, but he was also the ruler of wealth and things of that nature. But he's definitely in the underworld. So this is, the place at the bottom of the tree or the star. And you could also call this ignorance. I wanted to call it innocence because we all start from a place of innocence. And you can only be called ignorant if someone tells you something, informs you, of something, and you don't listen. Then you're ignorant. But we all start from a place of innocence. The goal in life is to gain knowledge and raise your vibration and move your way up to the higher levels, the higher principles. So one step up from innocence, you have body. So we do start with a body as well. But to become aware of your body and to take control over your body is something we do as we mature. I have a 2-year-old, and this baby wears a diaper. He can't control his own bowel movements. So as we grow and mature, we take control of our body. And we also take control of our will. So this next principle is our will. And free will, is an important principle because we all have free will. And the only time that our free will is taken from us is maybe our parents, don't allow us to eat cookies or jump on the table. So someone who is more powerful than you can take away your free will. But when you become an adult, we're supposed to respect each other's free will. And if, you take someone else's free will, then that's considered a sin. If you coerce them into doing something that they don't want to do, then that's, considered a sin. So to take control of our own free will and not be dominated by others is a principle on the tree or the star. On the left and right, you have masculine and feminine principles. So that's why on the left, there's 3 male Roman gods, Mars, Mercury, and Jupiter. And on the right, we have 3 female Roman goddesses, Venus, Ceres, and Juno. And they also ascend in order of importance. So on the left, we have strength, logic, and wisdom, all important principles of the left brain. The left brain is the masculine side of the brain, and the right brain is the feminine side of the brain. Scientists have found that, our logical thinking happens on the left brain, our creative thinking happens on the right side of the brain. So logic is a principle that we can all aspire to. Logos is the root of the word logic, and logos means word. And understanding our words and how much our words have meaning over our lives and what we say and bring into the world is our manifesting our reality. It's just magical to think that our brains are able to take a thought from the ether, make a word, speak that word into existence, and turn that word into vibration. And everything in the world is vibration. We learn this from the Hermetic principles. Everything vibrates, and everything is made up of vibration. Just like light is a wave, and the lower frequency wavelengths make red, orange, yellow. The higher frequencies you go makes green, blue, purple. So I included the different colors here also to represent the different frequencies. And again, there's frequency and polarity in everything. So you'll notice there's opposite poles here. You go from innocence to spirit. As you raise your vibration, you go from one side to the other. And these are different sides of the pole. And that's another Hermetic principle called polarity. Everything has its 2 opposites, but everything is a spectrum. And opposites are alike in nature. They're only different in degree. So the most common example to illustrate polarity is heat and cold. Higher vibration, higher frequency equals higher heat, hotter things, and then lower vibration equals cooler things. So everything has its poles, and everything has its pair of opposites. And even on the opposite ends of the tree or the star, you have masculine and feminine. And each one of us has a masculine and feminine side, and to integrate both halves is to become a whole person. And to master the whole star, you do have to master your feminine side and your masculine side. On the feminine side, we have love. And love is, some call that the highest principle. God is love. And of course, this makes sense because from a perspective of a society, and from the teachings of Jesus, he said, love your neighbor, love God, and love yourself. And, when you're living in that vibration, then, you can really do no harm. You can't hurt someone when you love them. Well, you can, but you might not want to. So this is a higher principle of feminine principle. But creativity is also a feminine principle. And most people don't know this, but creativity is a right brain activity. And, to create is a high principle because we each create our own reality and we each create our own world. And we create our world through the things we say, the things we think about, the things we feel, and the things we do. So in the middle, you'll find 4 principles: body, mind, heart, and will. The body corresponds to the lower side of your body. In the chakras, the first chakra is the sacral, and the sacral chakra starts right at your genitals. And this is the bottom or the first chakra. So from body, You go up one spot to will. Your willpower really originates in your guts. And people say, do you have the guts to do this? And the other way of saying that is, do you have the willpower to make it happen? If you want to make a change in your life, do you have the guts? Do you have the willpower? Because you can think about the way you want your life to be. You can also have feelings about how you want, how you want your life to become. But it takes, that gut willpower to make it happen. Moving up from gut, you have your heart. And your heart chakra is like right in the middle of the 7 chakras. It is, the powerhouse of the body. Your heart pumps blood and living energy to your whole body. Your heart is a place of understanding as well. That's why it corresponds to the understanding. Your mind corresponds to wisdom. Your heart is the feminine side and your mind is the masculine side. So to have a connection with your heart and to have a connection with your feelings and emotions is considered feminine. But men, we have to do this. We have to have a connection with our own heart, our feelings, emotions, and have a deeper understanding of the world around us and the people around us. That's why women are better at reading people. They have a better connection with people. Men are really good at doing things, making things, working with things. Women are better at working with people. But we all have the right side of our brain. We all have the capability to have understanding. And this is the highest female principle. On the left, you have wisdom and mind. So our mind, or our third eye chakra, is the place of imagination. It is also a connection to spirit. It's amazing that our mind connects to the spiritual realm. And the spirit realm is the place of dreams, the place of thoughts, the place of imagination. You can go there when you close your eyes. And we are as much a spirit as we are a body. So we have the body and we have the spirit. And we have the mind. So a lot of people talk about mind, body, spirit as a trinity because the mind is in the middle of the body and the spirit. And our spirit, extends to outside of our body. And people say they can see your aura. And your aura is, extends outside of your body because your spirit extends outside of your body. Our spirit extends to the ether. And the ether is just that place in the spirit realm where thoughts, ideas, and spirits and demons and angels exist. Now, when I talk about angels and demons, I don't know much about angels and demons, but I do know that people who take ayahuasca and people who take DMT, they come into contact with beings that they think are sentient, beings that they think are able to communicate, beings that are intelligent. And so this is that place, that non-physical place that they go. And I've always felt that there is more to this reality than that which can be seen. There is the seen and the unseen worlds. And that's the earth and the heavenly realms that they write about in the religious texts, in the Bible, and in the Eastern texts. And all over the world, cultures have, writings about this energy that is non-physical. Even in the East, they have the chi and the energy and the prana, which exists outside of physical reality. Now, the important thing to connect here is, like I said before, spirit and spiritual realm and physical realm are two sides to the same pole. They're polar opposites. But again, you can always tell the difference by the degree or the frequency. And opposites are alike in nature, according to Hermetic wisdom. If that's true, then spirit is the highest frequency, and things that are high frequency is less dense. And low frequency is more dense. So the physical world feels dense, and this table feels dense. But we know from physics that this table is made up of atoms that are vibrating. And if you look at ice, the atoms are vibrating really slowly, and the molecules are close together. As you heat up ice, it becomes liquid. The molecules become farther apart because they're vibrating at a higher frequency. And if you heat up water, it becomes steam. And steam is very high frequency vibration. The molecules are very far apart. But who knows what the limit to this higher frequency exists? We haven't found the limit, and you can't. Some say that the universe is fractal, and that means that as you get bigger and bigger and bigger, things start to mirror the small. And we see this in astronomy, in that the galaxies look like atoms. You have planets spinning around a sun, just like electrons spin around a nucleus. And this is called fractal. The very, very big mirrors the very, very small. And this is also written thousands of years ago in the Hermetic texts, when they say, as above, so below. As above in the heavens, so below here on earth. There is a correspondence between the heavens and earth. Anyways, I think we've gone through most of these aspects. So, yeah, I think that's a good place to call it. Thanks for watching. See you next time.